YouTube, welcome to my channel. Today we will be reading The Ballad of Mulan as translated by the Yale University Press in 1976. I have a copy of it in one of my books here, and I will be reading that to you now. So get comfy and prepare to hear the English version of The Ballad of Mulan. The Ballad of Mulan. Tsiek, tsiek, and again tsiek, tsiek. Mulan weaves facing the door. You don't hear the shuttle's sound. You only hear daughter's sighs. They ask daughter, who's in her heart? They ask daughter, who's on her mind? No one is on daughter's heart. No one is on daughter's mind. Last night I saw the draft posters. The Khan is calling many troops. The army list is in 12 scrolls. On every scroll there's father's name. Father has no grown-up son. Mulan has no elder brother. I want to buy a saddle and horse, and serve in the army in father's place. In the East Market, she buys a spirited horse. In the West Market, she buys a saddle. In the South Market, she buys a bridle. In the North Market, she buys a long whip. At dawn she takes leave of father and mother. In the evening camps on the Yellow River's bank. She doesn't hear the sound of father and mother calling. She only hears the Yellow River's flowing water cry, "Tsine, tsine." At dawn she takes leave of the Yellow River. In the evening she arrives at Black Mountain. She doesn't hear the sound of father and mother calling. She only hears Mount Yen's nomad horses cry, "Tsu, tsu." She goes 10,000 miles on the business of war. She crosses passes and mountains like flying. Gusts carry the rattle of army pots. Chilly light shines on iron armor. Generals die in 100 battles. Stout soldiers return after 10 years. On her return, she sees the Son of Heaven. The Son of Heaven sits in the splendid hall. He gives out promotions in 12 ranks, and prizes of 100,000 and more. The Khan asks her what she desires. Mulan has no use for a minister's post. I wish to ride a swift mount to take me back to my home. When father and mother hear daughter is coming, they go outside the wall to meet her, leaning on each other. When elder sister hears younger sister is coming, she fixes her rouge, facing the door. When little brother hears elder sister is coming, he whets the knife, quick, quick for pig and sheep. I open the door to my east chamber. I sit on the couch in the west room. I take off my wartime gown and put on my old-time clothes. Facing the window she fixes her cloud-like hair. Hanging up a mirror, she dabs on yellow flower powder. She goes out the door and sees her comrades. Her comrades are all amazed and perplexed. Traveling together for 12 years. They didn't know Mulan was a girl. The he-hare's feet go hop and skip. The she-hare's eyes are muddled and fuddled. 2 hares running side by side close to the ground. How can they tell if I am he or she? So that's the ballad right there. And there's actually a few interesting things I want to talk about. The first is the use of onomatopoeia. So words like ti, tiek, and tsine, and tu. Those are Chinese onomatopoeia sounds for just those random sounds of the weaving, of the water, and of the horses. I'm not sure how to quite do those onomatopoeia correctly, because in my Western American mind, those things make very different sounds. But again, those are just the onomatopoeia that I'm used to, that we've assigned to them. The second is the point of view. You will have noticed that the ballad actually goes from third person to first person several times. And that's interesting because the way that ancient Chinese poetry was written is actually really confusing. They didn't have punctuation and stuff. And also, Mandarin Chinese as a language doesn't have past and present tense. You can say that you have done something. But the way you say it will be in the present tense, which is really fun to get used to. But once you understand it, it's actually easier to get a grasp of than English, which has so many complicated rules. Mandarin tends to follow their linguistic rules, whereas English tends to break every rule that there is. Another thing that's very interesting in this ballad is that the emperor is referred to by two different names in it. First of all, the Son of Heaven, which is the Chinese name that they called the emperor, and the second is the Khan, and it refers to him as the Khan more often than not, which leads a lot of scholars to believe that if Mulan was real, or whoever wrote the poem, may have been Mongolian and not Chinese, because that is what the Mongolians would call the Chinese emperor. They wouldn't have called him the Son of Heaven, they would have called him the Khan, Khan. Now it does say she sees the Son of Heaven. He is referred to as that, but that is when she meets him. And in that circumstance, I assume you would want to act like you're on their side, like you are a native person, and maybe she switched sides. We don't know, but it is interesting that both names of the emperor are in there, both Khan and Son of Heaven. But you know what they say, when in Rome, do as Romans do. The other thing that we don't see in the Disney version, at least in the cartoon Disney version, and I would assume not in the live action either, is that Mulan is at war for 10 years and traveling back home for 2 years. And so it's a 12-year process for her. Another thing that I really like here is we can see little things from the ballad that were included, like she's offered the minister's post, and we see that in the cartoon. It's kind of a slapstick funny moment when the annoying skinny guy kind of faints when the emperor says, "You can have his post." But that actually was something that was offered to her, and she does just say she wants to go home. So, yeah. The other thing is she doesn't get revealed as a woman to the army in the ballad until after everything has ended, until she has successfully made it home. Her father is still alive, her family is safe, and she's achieved her goal. So, that's the Ballad of Mulan. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my content, check out my previous videos. Feel free to subscribe so you know when I upload, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.